It's kind of a yucky day outside, isn't it? No? Oh, I think it is. Well, this is a story about my friend Jeremy. My friend Jeremy, he liked to rock climb. So one day, Jeremy and some of his friends, especially Sydney and John from Walla Walla College, took a trip to Smith Rocks in Central Oregon. After setting up camp there in Oregon, the friends grabbed their gear. They grabbed ropes and harnesses and carabiners, shoes, chalk, webbing, food, water, put it all in backpacks and headed off to go find a climb. Well, they spent the whole day climbing, going up the rock, going down the rock, going up the rock, going down the rock. Well, as the day was ending, they decided, there's one more climb we would like to do. And it's kind of around the backside of the rock, but it's supposed to be really, really good. Well, this was Jeremy's turn to climb, to do the lead. What that means is he goes up first, and he attaches the rope, and then he comes down, and everybody else gets to go after him. So he chalked up his hands, and he checked his harness, his rope, made sure he had all of his quick draws, and he announced, climbing, and Sydney, who's the one holding him to the rope, announced, climbing on. Well, up the rock Jeremy went. Each time he came to a bolt, he would hook on his quick draw to the bolt in the rock, clip it to the rope, and that way if he fell, he wouldn't fall very far. Well, up he would climb to the next one, and up he went. First he started off, it's about 10 feet. That wasn't too bad. Ground was right there. Then he went 20 feet, then he went 30 feet, then he went 40 feet until he was way up on the rock. Well, he noticed that there were some problems. First, it was the end of the day, and Jeremy was starting to get tired. His fingers were starting to get tired from holding onto the rocks, and his arms were starting to get tired, and his legs were starting to get tired. Second problem, the sun was starting to go down. It had already gone down behind the rock, and it was starting to get darker, and it was starting to get colder. And when they left camp that morning, it was hot, and so they wore shorts and t-shirt, and they didn't have that much cold gear. Well, the last problem that Jeremy noticed, after problems 1 and 2, he noticed how high up he was. Well, imagine if that was the ground down there, and you're all the way up here, and you're only halfway up the rock. Well, how is he going to finish that climb? He could go up, finish the climb, get it come down, or he could go down, climb down, or he could fall. Well, he started to think about it, and up, he decided, was not an option. That was just too far. He was too tired and too cold. Well, falling, that wasn't a very pleasant option. See, when you're rock climbing and you put your clips in, you put a clip here, and then you climb up to about here, and you put your next clip in, and you keep on going. Well, imagine if you fall from right here. You're going to fall from here, then the rope is attached right here. You're going to fall all the way to down here. That's a long way to fall. Well, you have the harness, but the rope is only attached right here, and it stretches. So that falling wasn't a very good option. So down was the option. So he decided to climb down. Well, he started climbing down, and he had a hand here, and he had a foot here. Oh, I put my foot right here. What about my other hand? Well, I'll put my hand right here. Then he realized he was stuck. This arm can't go anywhere, and this arm can't go anywhere, and this leg can't go anywhere, and this leg can't go anywhere. Oh, man. Couldn't go up, couldn't go down. It sounds like falling was the last option. Well, Jeremy had been taking some classes there at school at Walla Walla. And he remembered during one of the classes a verse that was in Psalms. That verse says, "Trust in God, whose word I praise. In God I trust. I will not be afraid." I will not be afraid. Oh, this is definitely a good place to be afraid. Stuck up on a rock, it's getting dark, you got to fall a long ways. So Jeremy closed his eyes. He couldn't fold his hands very well because he was stuck. So he closed his eyes and he said a quick prayer, "Please, God, protect me." Then he called down to Sidney, who was down below. He said, "Hold on to that rope. I have to fall." Sidney said, "Okay." And I let go. And then the rope stretches bounced. When I stopped bouncing, when Jeremy stopped bouncing, Sidney lowered me the rest of the way to the ground. Tired, but safe. By the time we headed back to camp, it was dark. We were cold, we were hungry, but God had watched out for us and kept us safe. That verse in Psalms, it finishes up. Psalms 56:13. "For you have delivered me from death, and my feet from stumbling, that I may walk before God in the light of life." So remember, boys and girls, even if we're stuck, we're afraid, God is there watching out for us and will protect us. You can go back to your seats now.